All right, today I am solving a very big home cooking problem because as serious home cooks, we are in that kitchen day after day and night after night producing meals, and most of the time we're doing it by ourselves. So we need meals that are 1, easy to make, 2, easy to clean up, and 3, of course, they have to be delicious. And that's what I've been working hard on over here. I've got 4 meals for you today, 2 of which come together completely in one pan, and another 2 which come together completely in just one air fryer basket. And all of them are extremely easy to make, easy to clean up, and very delicious. So let's get started. All right, so first up, I've got a maple glazed salmon with crispy fennel and a zesty cream sauce. And here are all the ingredients for this meal, which come together in a single air fryer tray. So the first thing I'm gonna do is make a maple mustard glaze. I'll use 2 tablespoons of mustard. I'm using a grainy mustard, but any type of mustard will work. 2 tablespoons of maple syrup and 1 tablespoon of olive oil and a little bit of salt, and I'll mix that up. And I've got a piece of salmon here. It has the skin off. It's just about a pound, which will feed around 2 people. And the first thing I'll do is dry off the exterior, and then I'll smear on that maple glaze and just let that sit while I'm prepping the veg. And for this dish, I'm using fennel. That's what I had laying around in the fridge, but I've done it with broccoli, I've done it with cauliflower, all of which will roast up pretty evenly with the salmon. And I'll just slice through the fennel nice and thin, and then I'll add it to a bowl, and I'll simply coat it with some olive oil and some salt and pepper. Give that a mix, and then I'll take my air fryer tray, I'll add in the piece of salmon to one side. I'm gonna stick a thermometer in there just to nail down the perfect temp, and then I'll add in the fennel, filling in the other side. Plus I'll slice a lemon in half and throw that in the corner just to roast with everything else. And I'll set my air fryer for 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 13 minutes. Which is a great time to talk about today's sponsor, Tefal, and their brand new infrared air fryer. And I actually helped out with the development of this product, which is pretty cool, because you know I am such a big air fryer fan. And it was very easy for me to get on board with their mission of taking air fryers into the next generation, which is what they did with this infrared air fryer. So most traditional air fryers have a heat lamp just like this, whereas this air fryer has infrared heating technology, which you can see right here, which is more energy efficient. It reaches higher temperatures quicker and maintains those temperatures more consistently. And the infrared heat actually penetrates deeper into the food, giving you a crispy exterior with a more juicy interior, which of course is excellent when it comes to things like salmon or chicken in your air fryer. And lastly, one thing that you've probably noticed, which I love, is this window right here, where you can truly see your food transform right before your eyes and know exactly when things are done, which you can see from this salmon right here is about now. What I'm gonna do, this is just about done. I'm gonna hit it with the crispy finish, which increases that temperature and hits it with the broil action from that infrared. Yeah, so now you can see we're really going on that salmon, that crispy skin. And I'm gonna pull it right there. It smells amazing. Roasted lemon, we're gonna use that right now. So to a bowl, I added in some sour cream, some chopped parsley, grated in some garlic, and then I squeezed in the juice of those roasted lemons. I seasoned it with salt and pepper and mixed that up for a really nice cream sauce. And to complete this dish, I simply took a mason jar, added 1 cup of couscous and 1 cup of boiling water, and let that sit for 10 minutes. So check this out. Look how dense it is at the bottom, and then it just totally fluffs up, and you've got instant couscous. So 1 air fryer tray, 1 jar. Let's plate it up. So I'll do a base of couscous. Boom. Go in with that beautiful roasted fennel. This is a big chunk of salmon, so cut it there. Nice. Look how moist that is. If you like a more medium rare salmon, of course you can cook it slightly under that. Wow, I might serve it like chunks of steak. Oh, it's just flaking apart. And then we just come in with this beautiful sauce right here. Wow. This is a beautiful, complete meal. Wow, my God, I forgot for a second about that maple glaze, which is so good and so simple. I personally love roasted fennel. I think fennel is one of the most underrated veggies, and roasting it is my favorite. For a nice complete meal, this dish actually came together very quickly, which I love about it. Not much to say other than that is really good. All right, next up we have another complete meal coming together in the air fryer, which is a roasted cauliflower with crispy halloumi cheese over an eggplant salad. And here are the ingredients for this dish. And the first thing I'm gonna do is take 2 sort of medium, smallish eggplant and make some slices right in the side, big enough where there's an opening to slide in some garlic. So I'll crack a few cloves of garlic, I'll slice them in half and then stuff them right into the eggplant. And then you just have to wrap the eggplant right up in some tin foil, which goes straight into the air fryer. Now, while those 2 eggplants are roasting away, I'll prep these 2 things right here, some cauliflower and halloumi cheese. And this cauliflower came right from my garden, and I only need about half of it, but if you are making this recipe, say on a baking sheet, and you want a little bit more, you can definitely roast the entire cauliflower. So I'll slice up all those florets just into bite-sized pieces, and this is a halloumi cheese, which is a firm cheese that can actually hold up to frying or baking, and I'll slice that up into similar sized pieces as the cauliflower. And to increase the flavor a little bit, I've got some ground spice here. I'm using some turmeric, some paprika, and some cumin. And then I'll add some salt, pepper, and oil, and I'll give these a mix to get them ready for roasting. All right, so these eggplants, they're just about done for that first 10-minute run. And yeah, they still need a long while, which is why I'm just gonna take all of this and basically spread it around. It can go on top, it can go to the side. This air fryer has very good circulation, so everything will cook pretty evenly. And I'm gonna turn the air fryer down to 375 and I will cook it for 13 more minutes. And we'll let everything roast together. So we're just about done, and you can actually see the surface of the cauliflower and the cheese just roasting away. The cheese is actually starting to pop a little bit. So I think we should be good. Wow, nice char on the cheese, really nice char on the cauliflower, and then the eggplant hopefully gets nice and mushy in there. So I'm just gonna fish out these eggplants first. Boom, let's see, looking pretty tender. Nice. All right, we'll chop off the ends. I'm just gonna open this up. Yeah, that's what we want. Ow. Don't recommend doing this before it cools. Let me get a fork. Fork and spoon. We just wanna scoop out all of that inner meat. There we go. And you can discard the skin. Chop that in half. You can see that one didn't roast quite as well. Could have gone a few more minutes, but I didn't wanna overcook the cauliflower, so that's fine. I'll take the hit. And what I'm doing here is making a traditional Middle Eastern eggplant salad. I guess nothing I do is traditional, but inspired eggplant salad. So I'm just getting that chopped up nice and fine. I'll add that to a bowl. Now I'm adding some canned chickpeas just to bulk things up a bit. Drain these, but they're definitely optional. Do like half a can. And then some fresh parsley. This can be super rough. And then we definitely need some tahini in there. Drizzle some of that in. Little lemon juice. Forgot to add that to the initial ingredient list. Squeeze of that in there. There's the salt. Where are you, salt? Always losing it. There it is. Just season with salt and pepper, why not? And then simply mix. So it's called a salad, but it's kind of like a rough dip. I'll taste for seasoning. Oh, more lemon. Half the lemon just got on the table and not in the bowl. Ow, and in a cut. There we go. Now watch how this comes together. Plate, eggplant salad, all of that. And we'll take that roasted cauliflower and halloumi. We'll stack that on top. And if you do have it, which I do, I would highly suggest some type of pickle. And if you want to get specific, you cannot beat pickled red onions sprinkled on top. Super fun one tray meal. I totally forgot to bring some pita or fresh bread with this would be the ideal way to serve it. You can just eat it as a vegetarian salad and it's gonna be delicious. Well, let's confirm that. Let's get some halloumi on there. Now this could definitely be served as a side at, say, a restaurant, but you get some nice bread, you sit down with your partner. This is a good dinner right here. All right, so we're moving on and we are switching it up from a single air fryer tray to a single pan. And the first dish is a lemon chicken orzo, and here are all of the ingredients. And the first thing I'm gonna do is preheat my oven at 350 degrees because this dish is being baked. Now I'm using 3 chicken thighs with the bone in and the skin on. You can go boneless, skinless, but I do like the extra flavor added from both the bone and the skin. And I'll dry off all the chicken thighs and I'll season them with some salt and pepper. And to sear these babies up, I'm I'm using the new Tefal Refresh ceramic pan. This is the 3.5 quart saute pan, but it comes in a larger set with other great options. And they're made with 100% recycled aluminum. And they have this nice thermo spot technology, which when turns a solid red like this, lets you know that your pan is properly preheated and ready to go. And this ceramic nonstick coating has a truly effortless release on everything while still delivering great cooking results, which you can see right here with these thighs. After about 6 to 7 minutes, I have a perfectly crispy, even brown on the entire skin. And I'll just turn them over and cook them for another maybe 2 minutes on the other side. They don't need to be finished completely through because the dish is getting baked. And while that's cooking, I'll chop up 1 medium onion and 4 to 5 cloves of garlic. I like this dish very garlicky. And really the star of this dish is lemon. We're gonna use 2 parts of this lemon. So I'll need the juice of both lemons, but I do want the zest of one of the lemons. So I'll zest that up, get that reserved, and then I'll juice the 2 lemons for about 3/4 of a cup of fresh lemon juice. So the chicken is done. I'm gonna pull it, put it to the side, and I have all of this delicious flavor from that chicken fat and oil, which the onion and garlic, of course, are gonna cook in. And I'll add in some thyme leaves and just cook everything down together on a nice medium heat. Really, you just want these aromatics to cook down until they're soft and sweet and translucent like this, which takes around 6 to 7 minutes. And then I'm gonna go in with 1 cup of Orzo, which I'll toast up in all of that oil for around 2 to 3 minutes. And then once that's nicely toasted, I'll add in all of that lemon juice and the zest and about 1.5 cups of chicken stock. And I'll bring that up to a gentle bubble. You know what, I didn't add this to the initial ingredient list, but this dish is looking like it needs some color. So I'm simply just gonna add some of these cherry tomatoes from my garden right in there. They'll cook down and obviously create some really nice flavor as well. I mean, the beauty about this dish is you can really add any additional veggies. Some broccoli or spinach would be nice. And then I'm gonna take the crispy chicken at this point, and we're just gonna sort of wedge that in there, nuzzle it down into the crevices of the Orzo. Boom. So we'll cut the heat. I've got my oven over here set for 350, and I'm gonna pop that in uncovered. And since the skin is above the liquid, it's gonna stay crispy, but the Orzo is gonna suck up all the stock and the lemon juice. It's gonna cook through, and hopefully those tomatoes will roast up nicely. Oh yeah, and all of that should take, I would say 15 minutes. All right, it's been 15 minutes. Give it a looky. But what you want is no additional liquid. Like everything has been absorbed right into that Orzo. And then if we got our ratios right, the Orzo should be perfectly tender. That's ready to go. I love how complete this dish is in 1 pot. It's a beautiful thing. Oh my God, I forgot to add the final thing that's staring at me right now. Little bit of fresh dill, just right on top. It's gonna add the color, but it's also just gonna add that hit of freshness that I think this dish needs. It's pretty hearty. Sprinkle that on, boom. That's it, now it's perfect. And since we're bone in, you gotta go fork and knife on this, unless you wanna go barbarian with it. Chicken and pasta, very comforting dish. Wow. The Orzo, with all of that starch, soaks up the liquid, but gets very creamy and silky. And the lemon is kind of the star of the show here. Lemon juice and lemon zest. It's a hearty dish, but it's very bright and fresh with the lemon. Tomatoes, perfect addition. I don't know what to say. That is just such an easy and beautiful 1-pot dish. All right, and the final meal is another 1-pot meal that is inspired by what has just been an excellent harvest in the garden recently. Every year, some things do really well and some things don't do well. The Napa cabbage just went off this fall. I can still see the last few heads right through the window over there. But I am making a dish inspired by Kimchi Jjigae, which is a Korean kimchi stew. Now this dish is similar to, say, a fried rice, where there are a million different preparations depending on what you have in your fridge and just what you're into in general. These are the ingredients I'm using for my version. So the first thing I'm gonna do is fry up some bacon. This is some homemade Canadian bacon I had left over from this McDonald's video, and I'll get a few pieces frying up in the pan. Next, I'll prep some Napa cabbage and green onion. I'm gonna slice the Napa cabbage in half and rough chop it. And for the green onion, I'll just slice that up fine.
So we've got veg prepped. Turn this bacon, looking good. I'll cook that for another minute. And actually, I can chop these up while I have some time. The old shiitake. This dish is like a fried rice. It's extremely customizable to whatever you've got hanging around in the fridge, just whatever you're kind of feeling. I'm just gonna slice these into quarters, keep them kind of chunky. Bacon coming out. We've got plenty of residual fat, and with the cabbage. And then I'll just sprinkle in about half of the green onion for now.
All right, let's talk about the star of the show. Fresh kimchi. This is actually a very ripe and fresh batch, made 5 days ago.
Hasn't even been in the fridge yet. Still bubbling away.
Look at this, beautiful. Give it a taste. Ooh. Now obviously you can use store-bought kimchi. If you want the recipe for this right here, link below.
And really the essence of this dish is all of the flavor you get in this kimchi, because there's already garlic, there's already spice, there's sourness from the fermentation. It's basically like a Korean bouillon cube. And I'm just gonna take some scissors, which is very Korean, and chop this up
just to create more textural difference between this and the cabbage in here.
Now this is our flavor enhancement. Cabbage is looking awesome. Go in with the mushrooms.
I'm just gonna take this bacon and rip it up.
Throw that in there.
Eat a piece.
Can't resist. Kimchi, of course. I'm gonna see if I can get any kimchi juice in there, just extra flavor. Yeah, from the side of the jar, a little bit.
Forgot I have a little bit of stock left
from the Orzo recipe. Traditionally, a dashi or a stock would be used. You can use water as well. I'm gonna finish up this stock and then water. That looks good. Now, of course, you're gonna serve this with some type of rice product. Could be just fresh cooked rice, could be rice noodles. You could throw those right in there. Since this whole video is about one pot or one tray meals, I thought it'd be nice to take some of these rice cakes and throw those right in just to keep it super simple. So I will add those right in, which should just take a few minutes to cook.
It'll absorb some of that liquid,
and I'll throw a lid on. So this has been cooking for just about 10 minutes.
I totally forgot to add any seasoning throughout, but there is, of course, salt in the bacon, salt in the kimchi, and I just love how the rice cakes have added a little bit of starch and thickened up this kind of soupy-like texture to more of a stew.
So good, but definitely needs some salt. Not too much. Let's get that perfect.
And then I just want to try one of these rice cakes to make sure it's cooked. Perfect. Chewy, but cooked through. So good. Almost forgot, this is when we can add those
green onions that I was saving.
The final recipe, final supper.
This looks incredible. This is a true one potter right here.
Yeah.
You know, you lose obviously nutritional value by cooking the shit out of the kimchi, but sometimes, you know, it's about the flavor.
Yeah.
Wow.
The texture is from the rice cakes.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of like egg drop soup.
Yeah.
You know, like the starchiness, but this is from the flour.
I'm pleasantly
from the rice.
Pleasantly surprised that it's not incredibly salty. I thought maybe it would be like really salty, but it's
From
nice.
what? Just
Bacon, kimchi.
Yeah. Right, because I forgot to salt it till after.
But still, you know, I think it's nice that it's light.
Yeah. It's very one of a kind because you're adding such a heavy dose of fermentation into
Yeah,
it.
it's just like so warming. And
Yeah, it's a nice winter. Like you make your kimchi in the fall and you're ready to make this when it gets
This is
nice
delicious.
and cozy. Well, that's it. 4 great recipes, all in a pot or a tray. Make at least one of these. I'm sure you found something, and let us know what you think.